Hello everyone. This is a short video about a really useful utility module for your Eurorack, the control voltage converter. In Eurorack there are basically two types of control voltages, unipolar and bipolar. Both types have a voltage range of 10 volts, but the unipolar type goes from 0 to 10 volts and the bipolar type is centered around 0 volts and goes between -5 to +5 volts. To give a couple of examples, a typical unipolar signal is pitch CV, which is usually in the range 0 to 10 volts. Envelope generators often output 0 to 8 volts and in some cases up to 10 volts. Bipolar CV sources are often LFOs or function generators, which outputs -5 to +5 volt levels. To make things a little bit more complicated, there are another category of control signals called gates, triggers and clocks, and also logic signals. And those signals doesn't always operate in the range 0 to 10 volt. Instead they may only reach 5 volts. So if you plan to connect them, you need to have a unipolar input that accepts signals between 0 and 5 volt. Many microcontroller GPIOs also have this working range, so this can be useful if you want to incorporate those signals into your CV modulation. Some modules have switches where you can select the CV type, or they may have an amount and offset knobs that you can use to change the CV range. But very few DIY modules have this, so to be able to convert between unipolar and bipolar, I have designed a module that can help you with that. It is basically two modules in one, because it has two unipolar to bipolar converters and two bipolar to unipolar converters in one module. And I have also added a range button to switch the unipolar range between 0 to 10 volt and 0 to 5 volt. Instead of adding offset and gain knobs for each channel, I decided to make the module as simple and compact as possible, so I used fixed values for the conversion. Let's have a quick look at the schematic diagram and I will explain how it works. Alright, if we look at the schematic diagram, we have three parts, and at the bottom here we have the power connector and also the 5 volt voltage reference that is used in the rest of the design here. And if we start with the top block here, which is a unipolar to bipolar converter, we see that we have two identical parts. We have two inputs and two outputs. And the input of the second block here is normal to the first one. If we look at the converter itself, we see that the 5 volt reference is connected to the minus input on the op-amp, which basically means that we will subtract 5 volt reference from the input signal. And that's how we convert from unipolar to bipolar. And on the input side here, we also have a gain setting that we can change with the switch. This means that we can convert signals from the range 0 to 5 or 0 to 10 volt, depending on the position of the switch. And we also have a number of indicators. On the input side, we have this green LED, that is the unipolar indicator. And on the output side, we have these green and yellow LEDs that are used for bipolar signals. Next we have the bipolar to unipolar converters, and this is basically doing the same thing but the other way around. And also here we have normal inputs. The second connector is connected to the first one here. And here we can see that the voltage reference is connected to the positive input of the op-amp, which means that we will add 5 volt to the input signal. And that is basically how we convert from bipolar to unipolar. And on the output side, we also have a gain setting with this switch. So in a similar way, we can select between 0 to 5 volt or 0 to 10 volt. And on the input side, we have connected the bipolar indicators here. And on the output directly, we have the green LED, that is the output level. So that is basically how this design works. To check the design, I prototyped it on a breadboard, and here you can see me testing it using my Voltio module. In this setup I use it to provide unipolar CV, and there is a green LED on the input that gives an indication of the input level. The bipolar output side uses a green LED for the positive voltage and yellow LED for the negative voltages. There is also a circuit for a converter in the opposite direction, and after flipping the switch on the voltue to bipolar range, we can also test that the bipolar to unipolar converter works. Building the module is quite straightforward. I decided to use 0603 sized SMD components for this module, and I ordered a stencil together with the prototype PCBs. So let's start by building a small jig so I can apply the soldering paste to the PCB. Next step is of course to manually place all the SMD components on the PCB. The components are tiny, so my microscope is much appreciated here. After all components have been placed, I set up my hotbed to reheat the solder paste. The components will align on the pads when the solder paste melts, and this will form a good solder joint. After that we can continue to mount all the through-hole components on the PCB. Start with the power connector and the electrolytic capacitors on the component side. The rest of the components are mounted on the top side of the PCB, and I recommend to start with the jacks to get something to align the front panel with. This will make it easier to assemble the rest of the components. Next I continue with the latching push button switches. Attach the small button cap to the arm of the switch. The orientation of the switch on the PCB is important, and there is a small square mark on the bottom of the switch that should align with the square marking on the PCB silk print. Put the front panel back on. Make sure that the button caps are in the lower position, and use a small piece of masking tape to hold the push button in place when you turn the module around. Make sure that the switch is fully seated to the PCB. Solder one leg, check the alignment, and reheat the solder joint to make sure that it's flush to the PCB before you solder the rest of the legs. Finally, we can mount all the LEDs. Make sure that they drop into the hole in the front panel before you start soldering them. I always solder one leg of all the LEDs first, check the alignment and adjust if needed, before I solder the rest of the legs. The PCB is quite dense, so be careful when you solder, so you don't destroy any component. Last step is to use a side cutter to cut all the component legs. With that, the assembly is done, and we can power up the module and check that it works. The push button switches should turn on and off the red LEDs. The power consumption should be around 4 mA on both plus and minus 12 volt rails. Alright, that's all for today. All the production files for this module is available on my GitHub as usual, and I will soon start selling the CVC module on my web shop as a DIY kit. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon again.